But first, let's dive into NFL news real quick. Because, Ron, we were talking about last week how there wasn't enough hiring going on. And then this week, there was plenty of hires. So let's start off with the Harbaugh finally going to the LA Chargers. Is this going to be a good fit, Ron?
Yeah, you got Harbaugh is a very good coach, right? Some would say he's going to be immediately one of the top 5 best coaches in the NFL. You know, once he starts working on the team. But he got, let's see, a top 6 or 7 quarterback and one of the top tackles in the league. So he's got a lot of talent on that team. There's some older players and there's some financial issues. I think that team is going to be over the cap. They're going to have to make some difficult choices, but it's a good opportunity for him. I think it's a good team for him. Good matchup. So, you know, I expect good things these next few years from him.
Yeah, I'm very happy for Chargers fans because they finally got, you know, I wouldn't say that the other coach was not a real coach, but he made a lot of mistakes. He was better off as a coordinator than a coach. But, you know, I think that this, you know, it's a good marriage. You have a good quarterback. They're already talking about he might be a top 5. They, you know, a defense he might shape up into make it better. So, yeah, I think this is a, you know, good hire by them. The other hire is Raheem Morris to Atlanta.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Another great coach, another great hire. I think Raheem Morris is probably one of the better coaches out there that didn't have a head coaching job. So I think, you know, and I don't know if they have a GM just yet, but, you know, I think if they stick with him for a few years, they got to figure out the quarterback situation. So it's a much different situation than Harbaugh is. It's going to take a little bit longer until they can find their franchise guy. But they, you know, he has a good team, good running games, 2 good running backs, some young weapons, you know, receiver and a tight end with Pitts. So he has a lot, you know, to work with there too. So I think it's a good hire for Atlanta.
Why do you think they passed on Bill?
I don't know. He had 2 interviews. Was it 1 or 2?
Well, he had 2 interviews. The second one was more like a night out with the owner, kind of. So I don't know. Maybe the owner wanted him, but not the front office. I don't know. It's a weird relationship there.
So remember when we spoke about this last week about, you know, it doesn't matter what your resume looks like. You still need to meet with the coach to figure out what their plan is. I don't know if Bill has a good plan or, you know, was able to articulate it as far as what's going to happen with your coordinators, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Who are you bringing in? What's your plan for the team? I don't know if he had a good plan because the last couple of years, right, you can see that the team, the Patriots specifically, was heading in the wrong direction. And when it came to roster building, coordinating, those are the areas that he failed at. So, you know, and who's to say that they didn't go after Bill and Bill just turned him down too? So, you know, you just don't know. But I think this is a better, I think in the long term, this is going to be a better fit for Atlanta than going after Bill.
I mean, it's good. It's good for Morris because I feel like he's definitely earned it. But until they figure out the whole QB thing, I'm not gonna praise Atlanta yet. I think that they're in the right direction, but get the QB stuff figured out. The other hire is Canales to Carolina. He used to be the Bucs coach. He's super young. Is this gonna work out in Carolina?
We'll see. So I think what was he? The offensive was he the offensive coordinator for the Bucs?
Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator.
So and that's where Carolina struggled, right? So you got a rookie quarterback this past year, going into the second year next year, didn't perform well at all. They don't have a lot of weapons, period, around him. So they're gonna have to build that team up, and then they have to find an identity. What are they going to be? from an offensive standpoint. The team struggled to score points. Hopefully, he can go there and turn things around. I know he already said that he's going to be the one calling plays offensively, which is a good thing. But we'll see. We'll see how that turns out.
I know that he's young, so he's probably not gonna, he's not gonna be there forever. But would you want to work for David Tepper after he went to 3 people?
I don't too much turmoil,
and he threw a drink at a fan.
Yeah. Listen, he's passionate. He wants to win. I get it. No sort of stability there in that organization. Probably not a lot of the wrong decisions in terms of personnel. Because didn't they have a chance to get Stroud instead? Oh, did they want Stroud? They probably wanted Stroud, right? Man,
No, they moved up. They moved up in the draft, and they still. Was Stroud 1 or 2?
He was 1, and then Young was 2. But either way, when you have those early picks, you can't miss on them. And I'm not saying Bryce Young is a miss just yet. He's still young. But there were a lot of question marks about him to begin with, his size especially. And he didn't perform well at all this season. But, like I said, they need to surround him with some more talent. And I don't know as far as what the direction was, what kind of team they were going to be. I don't know if that was clear. And I think, coaching had a lot to do with that. So hopefully he can go in there and make a change to their culture.
Yeah, definitely the culture change is needed there. And to me, you have 2 new coaches in Atlanta and Carolina. And then you have, Dennis Allen in New Orleans. And then you have, Todd Bowles. So maybe this is a positive for Todd Bowles. I don't know. Losing Canales is just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that happens. The other news, Ron, is this one was under the radar. We didn't even know until we started recording. Callahan to Tennessee. Apparently the hire happened a couple of days ago. I'm not familiar with Brian Callahan that much.
So Cincinnati OC.
Okay.
So worked with Joe Burrow, and he did some great things, obviously. So probably a good, it's good for him. He deserves it, right? You work your way up. For him, I think he lucked out. I don't want to say he lucked out and he doesn't have talent, but when you're in a situation like Cincinnati was, and you have like that guy at quarterback, things become easier. And especially if you have weapons like he did and like Cincinnati does. So, but, we'll see. We'll see. Tennessee, he's going to be working with Will Levis. He's going into a second year too. Lots of talent, strong arm, but lots of issues. He's no Joe Burrow. Right, he has to fix something, especially with his accuracy. So we'll see how it works out for him. I don't know what other coaches they brought in, but that's another team that's kind of in a transition too. With Derrick Henry most likely leaving, they got some older players too. So we'll see.
So right now, only the Seattle job is open. Oh, in Washington. Mm-hmm. Sorry, in Washington. So, Vrabel, Belichick still out there. So if for some reason nobody hires either of those guys, are they just gonna take a year off football, or are they gonna coach somewhere? Like Peyton did, and just go back to high school coaching. I don't know. It's like. Why aren't these 2 guys getting jobs? Because, one was coach of the year. One has 6 Super Bowl titles. He has 8 because he was a coordinator with the Giants. So what is going on? Why are they passing on these guys?
I don't know. I can see why with Bill, that you might pass, his age, right? And then those questions about what's his plan. Vrabel, on the other hand, I don't understand that at all. Like, he's young. He has lots of experience. Being an athlete, being an actual football player and coaching, he's developed players. He comes from, a good system. So I don't know. I think a little surprised that he still hasn't found a job yet, but wouldn't shock me if he lands with one of those jobs.
Well, the rumor mill is that Andy Reid is going to be retiring soon, possibly after this playoff run. So that might be a job that will become available. And then the other rumor is that McDermott might be out in Buffalo. Now, those are rumors. I haven't seen any smoke to confirm that, but those are the rumors. So
yeah. And I told you about McDermott, right? Because listen, and I didn't know this. Kansas City, this is their 6th year in a row being in the conference finals. 6 years in a row, which is an unbelievable accomplishment, right? So, but that means Buffalo, your time you've had your time. Where do you go from here? Because you're supposed to be at your peak right now. And a lot of people would say you're underperforming if you're not getting to the Super Bowl. Same thing I say about Tomlin is the same thing they're saying about McDermott. So, I'm not all that surprised.